Hey guys, Luke here again from Fluke's Kitesurfing, and in this video we're going to cover two things that you can do to increase your confidence while you're kiting. If you're a beginner kiter and you're feeling like, maybe you don't feel 100% comfortable when you fly your kite, that's what this video is designed for. I know that one of the biggest challenges for people is to actually overcome the fear of the unknowns. So when you're learning to kite, you're wondering, okay, but if this happens, what will happen next? How's that going to feel if this happens? And so a lot of people feel sort of anxious while they're flying the kite and holding on because they're not entirely sure what's going to happen next if something was to go wrong. And so this video is just two simple kite flying skills that you can practice so that you can really increase that comfort level. I think that 90% of kiting really is in your piloting. It really is in your ability to fly the kite. And so when you focus on flying the kite itself and becoming really comfortable with the motions of the kite, the power delivery of the kite, that really translates into better riding, faster progression, because you can go out there and you know what's going to happen with the kite, so you can focus on other things like riding waves or doing jumps or foiling. If you don't have those kite piloting skills really dialed and that comfort level there, then it can really do the opposite of that, and it can hold you back from a lot of other progression steps because you're focused so high on the kite, what's going to do next, am I flying it correctly, and really clutching to the bar. So look, let's get into it. We're just going through two different kite skills that you can practice starting today. So the first kite skill that I want to talk about is looping the kite. This is actually a pretty controversial thing to suggest on YouTube. Even in a lot of lessons, most people that have been through full lessons will still have never looped the kite all the way around through the sky. And so I was thinking about this, should I make a video for YouTube about looping the kite, particularly when we're talking about a beginner or someone that's learning. And I just thought, look, really, it really truly helps people overcome a lot of those fears, because looping the kite is, for a lot of people, they're thinking, okay, if that happens, it's going to be bad. When you think about doing big loops, you think about people jumping over piers or break walls or soaring through the sky. That's not what this kite skill is about. This kite skill is about doing it in a sort of a slow way or in light wind, so that you don't feel overpowered and it doesn't scare you, but you get that feeling of what the kite does when it loops. Because when a kite's looping, it has a very different power delivery to some of the other kiting. So what it will do is it'll go from there's no power to a lot of power to no power again. And so once you get that feeling and you say, okay, it's going to deliver this certain boost of power, it's going to drag me for a second. If you can keep control of the kite during that second, then you'll know that on the other side of that, it'll be at no power again. And so that's the skill that we're going to go through. So to loop the kite, we'll start with the kite at about 12 o'clock. You can do this in either direction, but what we're doing is aggressively steering the kite so it'll go all the way around through the wind window and back up to 12. So what we're doing is we're trying to sheet in, crank the bar, let it come around nice and fast, and then we're straightening the bar and sheeting out when it gets back to 12. So the skill is to really steer the kite so it goes round and then stop it back at 12. And then you try the other way. Steer the kite, goes around, stop it back at 12. So we're sheeting in a bit, steering aggressively, both hands on the bar, let it come around, anticipate when it's going to stop at 12, and then we're sheeting out and straightening the bar to keep it at 12. So how do we practice it? The best way to practice it is just body dragging in the water. So you can see that we've got a nice sort of flat area here. I can wade out there in waist deep water. That's ideal. If you've got something that looks like this, that's great. What we don't want is any offshore wind or any onshore wind, because if it's blowing onshore, when you loop it, it's going to pull you back up onto the beach. Offshore, obviously, it's going to pull you out to sea, and we're just body dragging here. So we really want like a nice cross shore wind. Then you can body drag out to the waters deep enough that you're not going to hurt yourself, and we're going to do that exact drill. So that's the very first time to do it. You don't want to try it on the beach for the first time. You don't want to try it on the board for the first time. Just body drag out, grab the bar, crank it in, let the kite come around and complete that loop and slide along on your stomach. It's such an easy way to do it. Even if you've got too much power and it kind of pulls you up out of the water, it's no problem. You'll pull out of the water, plonk back in, and it can be actually a lot of fun. So if this is the first time you're going to loop it, it can be fun just to go out there, do your loops. You can try it both ways. Loop it this way to 12, and back in this way to 12, and you'll be sliding along the water on your stomach and just sort of skimming around and getting used to how that feels. The power delivery is what we're taking note of. How you'll start to sheet in, there'll be a bit of a delay, then you'll feel that pull, and then as you're sheeting out, it'll go all the way back to neutral again and there won't be any pull. So the rules are to really remember, we're going to sheet in, crank the loop and complete it. anticipate that pull. It's going to pull you, so anticipate the pull, and then we sheet out and stop the kite at 12 again. That's the completed cycle of the loop. It doesn't do anything other than that, and again, it can go either way. The second drill that you can practice to get more comfortable now is actually doing it on a board, but really what we're going to be doing is managing the loop while we're on the board. So what we want to do is go out on a nice light day when we're thinking, hey, I feel a bit underpowered. And then if you're going along on your comfortable riding stance, so for me, wind's at my back right now, so I'll be riding along this way. If I'm riding along like this, all you need to do is then get a bit of speed so you've got enough that you're planing along the water, and then actually turn at the kite. Okay, so without moving the kite should be sort of almost at 12. Turn at the kite and then loop it around. And as that loop is happening, as you're turning at the kite, you'll feel it will just pull you straight downwind. And you can actually just ride downwind, doing that loop, bringing it back to 12. You could even loop it back the other way, riding downwind, and you should be able to stay on the board for that. Now, the timing is sort of important there. You don't want to turn downwind too early and then loop it, and then it'll sort of have this delay and then it will yank you. So you want to sort of do it as you're turning downwind, bring the kite around and let it loop. You'll see people doing that in the surf a lot. The kite's repositioning as they're riding down the wave. It's not yanking them forward, it's not sending them through the air, because you're riding at the kite, it's taking a lot of that power out of it. So the exercise is just to get comfortable, like I said, on the board. Turn at the kite a bit, do those loops in light wind, and you'll start to increase that comfort level. Look, I know that that's not really a trick, but really they're just two exercises to help you do the tricks later. The loop is a key component of kite piloting. As you start to develop those higher end tricks, you'll be repositioning the kite in the sky when you're doing jumps. Like I said, when you're riding down waves, there's so many times that you can actually use it. And on top of all of that, you'll just feel more comfortable when you're riding along, because you'll know, hey, if I need to reposition the kite under there, it's going to be okay. Hey, if someone gets in my way and the kite loops, I can deal with it. I know how to deal with it. So that is the very first skill. And let's move on to number 2. Okay, so the second skill that I've got for you is actually to release the bar. Releasing the bar is obviously the first step in our safety system. We always let go of the bar to reduce the power, but I think a lot of people can find themselves clutching to the bar, maybe oversteering the kite, and feeling that they really have to hold on to the kite to just even go along. And so releasing the bar adds a lot of comfort, because you can relax into it. You can think, okay, that's killed the power, everything's okay, regain yourself, regain control of the kite, and then you're off again. And so I'm going to give you 3 different skills you can do for letting go of the bar. So the very first one is actually while you're riding along. So you can be riding along in either direction, ride along with moderate speed, have the kite at about 45 degrees, sort of up to around about 12. Just let go and let the kite just fly there for a second, lean back into it, even carve up wind slightly more, and you'll feel that the kite's fine. It will just actually fly like that. You can relax for a second and then regain control of the kite again and continue riding. I actually do that in my own sessions often. I do it when I might be going too fast and I need to dump the kite's power. I can just let go and lean back into it and really cut that power out really quickly. I might also do it when I'm about to do a jump and I decide, oh no, I don't want to do a jump. Exactly the same reason. Going a bit too fast, feeling overpowered because I was about to jump. I'm not about to jump anymore, so I let go of the bar and I really kill the power. So that's a simple way just to be riding along and think, I don't need to be holding this. I don't need to be steering it and oversteering the kite all the time. I can release it, lean back, get the kite again, and fly again. So the second skill for letting go of the bar is actually the rest and release. We teach this in our lessons. So that's where we actually let the kite come down, wingtip onto the water. The kite will sit there on its wingtip. It could be on the sand as well, so it just wingtip down onto the ground and then let go of the bar. The kite will just bob around there on its wingtip. It feels really quite stable. This is really good skill for maybe you need to tighten your harness, you're trying to fix something with your board, you're talking to your friend or something like that where you don't need to be actively steering the kite or flying the kite at the time. You can just let it go and then it's a lot less input for the kite. When you're ready to fly it again, reach forward, grab that top and basically steer the kite back up into the sky. And the third skill you can practice is as the kite's passing 12 on the beach. So you might actually see a lot of people will do this. They'll launch the kite up into the sky and let go and let the kite just sort of kill the power and fly up to 12. Maybe when they're launching or maybe when they're changing directions or changing hands, they might be walking this way, bring the kite up, let go, and then grab it with the other hand. That's just a simple skill that you can practice in order to feel that more confident on the beach as well, because again, it does kill that power. I know that some people will say there are some dangers with having the kite even past 12 on the land, so you don't want to be doing that in really crazy gusty conditions or anything like that, but in a nice smooth day, sort of in light to moderate wind, you can practice that, lean back, let the kite just fly. So before I finish up this video, I did want to actually say one more thing, and it's a big shout out to all the people that have been buying us beer. A while ago we put up on our website that people can buy us a beer, and we've just got to say thanks to all of those people that have been doing it. I mean, we're so excited actually. People have been buying us beers and 6-packs and cases of beer and multiple cases of beer. So, you know, we absolutely love that, and we want to say thanks to you guys for following along and actually supporting us like that, because it helps us make more videos, and we love being down here on the beach and trying to share some of the stuff that we know. And so the people that go, like yourselves, that have gone there and actually help support us, we want to give you a big thumbs up. That's from both Francis and myself, because we absolutely love it. Been drinking lots of beer here in Australia, so it's been working absolutely perfectly. And so look, anyway, that is it for this video. Hopefully there's some helpful tips in here for you. I know that getting that loop skill down is a really key one for people to feel really more comfortable with their kiting, and just being able to release the bar and say, okay, I can relax into this. Those two skills that I really have seen help people progress and like I say, feel more comfort in their kiting. So look, that's it. Thanks again for watching, guys. Luke here again with you, and we'll see you in coming videos.
Thanks, guys.